Good morning, I'm Sharaad Kuttan and welcome to BFM's Morning Headlines. It is the 7th of April. Quite a spread on our front pages, ranging from MH370 to the question of drought and a highway crossing PJ. Now, Utusan leads with that story, all the buzz over the weekend of sounds heard coming from the bottom of the ocean, possibly from a black box, possibly from MH370. So, tiga getaran, of course, is vibrations. Ya petunjuk penting because signals or signs of something important. Isyarat beri harapan, signs of hope. Isyarat makin jelas, more signs, more clarity. And New Straits Times, very promising lead. Is it going to lead us where we think it's going to lead us? We hope, because once they find the black box and the plane, they'll need to explain what happened and why it happened. That's still a long way off. Now, also in the papers at page 2 of the New Straits Times is this image. If that doesn't warm the cockles of your heart, I don't know what will. Now, that is a leaders meeting. Apparently, Singapore, Malaysia leaders retreat is in the works. Today, they speak about many issues. The paper is a bit thin on what the agenda, but it does include the high speed railway link between Singapore and Kuala Lumpur, the Iskandar development project, and perhaps other hot button issues, as the New Straits Times put it, but without detail. So there you have it. You want to follow that up. Maybe tomorrow when they issue a joint statement, we'll know exactly what they mean. Now, also interesting in the papers, and this is because how the papers work, they sometimes contrast starkly with what's on the internet now. So here you have a story. It comes from the weekend, and the place called Baling. Baling, very, very important in the history of activism in Malaysia. Now, over the weekend, some 10,000 people, according to Malaysia Kini, came to commemorate the 1974 poor peasant protests in Baling. That was also led by students, and Anwar Ibrahim was there. Now, along with that is this in festival that apparently also attracted 10,000 in Baling, and it's Malam Cinta Rasul. Now, it's very interesting. Apparently, often when you have these big events and a potential gathering for opposition forces, it's complemented with a government-sponsored religious event. So it happened the night of Anwar's conviction. Now it's happening in Baling. Check it out. Is there a pattern? We don't know, but worth looking at. Now, remember that picture earlier of the couple, the power couple, Lee Hsien Loong and his wife Ho Ching, who of course leads the billion-dollar government investment arm, Temasek Holdings, and Najib Razak and his wife Rosma. Now, Rosma is in the news. Apparently, somebody with some ill intention edited an image of Rosma and related it to the MH370 issue. He has been held. His house was actually raided and he was held. So he put that on Facebook. Gotta be careful. Somebody's watching. The Sun, abductors call. That's the other big story, of course, the abduction of a Chinese tourist from a resort. That gets some play in the Sun here. Apparently no ransom has been demanded, but the abductors have called the kin of the person they abducted. So that's interesting. The minister, Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, says that the security architecture of the area shouldn't be questioned. He, of course, also said, and much criticized for saying, that resorts out in these areas ought to be closed down. Not very good for tourism. But anyway, that's what he thinks ought to be done. The Star has part of our ongoing discussion about the causes of the water crisis. They say polluted rivers are part of that. So there you have it if you want to read that. Malay Mail has a story of the proposed KIDEX highway, and that's going to cut through much of PJ, perhaps destroying homes and all kinds of things in its wake. There are advocates of it and there are detractors. We look forward to seeing more clarity on the issue. Malay Mail puts it out on the front page. We end with Harian Metro. It's always got a split screen here. That's MH370, and that yet another story of deviant, so-called deviant religious practices. Always good to ratchet up the anxiety, low levels psychological warfare against the population. That's something that tabloids kind of do if they're directed by some people. Anyway, just remember, today, Qasim Ahmad's trial, case management, and also the Auditor General presents something at Parliament. So, things to look at if you're interested in the news. That's all I have. But before I go, I need to give you the word of the day. And the word of the day is Sharaad. Sharaad. That's a blip signal, something or other, coming from somewhere we do not know, deep in the murky depths of the Indian Ocean. That's all I have for you this morning, 7th of April. It's been BFM's Morning Headlines. I'm Sharaad Kuttan, BFM 89.9.